The 200-pound Messi, football's unstoppable hybrid superstar. Please like, share, and subscribe. Episode 31. The vanity of young people is most satisfied at this time. But not long after, a beautiful girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, who looked to be only 17 or 8 years old, came over and said to Lu Junfeng unceremoniously, "Your technique is also too poor. If you don't rely on your body, you can't even get by with me." "Hey, this girl is a little interesting. Is it a female fan who wants to practice with me? I don't mind practicing ball-holding breakthroughs with beautiful girls." Lu Junfeng thought proudly. Li Ku touched Lu Junfeng with his elbow at this time, and reminded him in a low voice. "This is Leah of the Arsenal women's team. People have been Arsenal fans since childhood, children's factory dreams." The girl generously stretched out her hand at this time and introduced herself. "Lu, hello, I'm Leah." Lu Junfeng hurriedly went up to shake hands and said generously, "Sit down and eat together, I'll treat you." Leah smiled and shook her head and said, "I just finished eating. Thank you for your contribution to Arsenal today. But I still hope you practice your technique well. Relying on the body alone, it is easy to be targeted." Lu Junfeng quickly explained. "Well, I'm dragged down by my size and don't look good at technology. Back then, I was known as the best Messi." Li Ku mocked on the side. "But you're shooting like a husky now." There was laughter all around. Leah's beautiful eyes smiled into a crooked crescent. Then she waved goodbye to everyone. Looking at her departing back, Lu Junfeng secretly sighed. The women's football girl is really good. The posture is tall, especially the legs, strong. The place that stands out really stands out." Li Ku said on the side at this time. "Regret going to the first team, right? Stay in the reserves, but often see the women's team training. Cut, Yan-Kei and Ji Honghu no Jia." The young man quickly burst into laughter. How is it not technology to burst the trip? My ball guard is like Henry." The interior and exterior of the store were filled with cheerful air for a while. Although the League Cup was not broadcast in China, some video materials were still transmitted to China. Coupled with the fans' attention to Lu Junfeng now, the major media began their performances again. Goal in the start, Lu Junfeng conquers the Emirates Stadium. 1 goal, 1 help and 1 point, the fans shouted. Lu is a new generation of gun kings. Sheng La can't prevent him. Lu Junfeng will enter when he gives the opportunity. Why be humble? Lu Junfeng leads the wave of goals. Wenger, do you understand? Fans who have seen the highlights have said that Lu Junfeng is not relying on luck this time. He is really strong. If it weren't for his teammates' poor passing, he could have scored a hat trick. Of course, there are also fans who pour cold water on the opponent, thinking that the opponent is too weak and unconvincing. This ball can only prove that Lu Junfeng is indeed capable of playing in the Premier League, and it is difficult to say whether he can play in the Premier League. However, even if he can only play in the British First League, Lu Junfeng is probably the most potential striker in Huaxia at present. The vast majority of Chinese players don't even understand the League One. The next day, Lu Junfeng had a holiday. After sleeping in, he got up and found that there was nothing he wanted to play, and Lu Junfeng went to the Kearney training base again in a trance. Seeing him coming, the coaching staff was a little surprised. This kid is really highly motivated. He started yesterday and trained again today, and he is full of self-motivation. But Wenger doesn't seem happy to see him practice. He called Lu Junfeng to the office. After beckoning Lu Junfeng to sit on the sofa, Wenger said slowly, "Boys, a lot of young players have football in their eyes before they become famous. They train desperately, they want to play desperately. This is certainly good. People who don't work hard enough can't become star players. But when they made a lot of money and gained all kinds of fame, they had forgotten why they played football in the first place. Or rather, they work hard to play football, just for money, for fame. There's nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't want their life to get better? It's just that one day in the future, you become a star player. I hope you can still remember who you used to be." Lu Junfeng was a little dumbfounded. "I just wanted to come to practice my sense of ball. How did I get pulled in and educated?" Is Professor Wenger going to say his famous remark, "People eat 3 meals a day and sleep in 1 bed, what do you want so much money for?" Please, I'm really not trying to make a lot of money. I have the means to make money, okay? After a moment of silence, Wenger asked, "Do you have an agent now?" Lu Junfeng nodded. "Well, let your agent contact the summon. It's time to give you a formal contract. Boulder will arrange for you to train later. You don't need to be too intense today. Everything must be scientific." Lu Junfeng did not know that Wenger's abnormality today was because he felt the danger of another talented player being poached. His Anelka had just emerged and was targeted by Real Madrid, and finally snatched away with a high salary. At that time, Wenger famously said, "People eat 3 meals a day and sleep in one bed, what do you want so much money for now?" He hopes that Anelka will resist the temptation of drunken gold fans and sink his heart to polish his skills. But Anelka eventually left, went to Real Madrid to chase his dream of stardom, but soon sank. Anelka's departure completed Henry, becoming a generation of gun kings and the world's top forward. Time is also fate. Episode 32. Now, Lu Junfeng has just shown his potential to become a top center forward, and many big teams are like cats that smell fishy, and they can't wait to stretch their paws over. Especially Manchester United and Chelsea, who are also in the Premier League. Manchester United manager Alex Ferguson even said privately that Wenger would not develop a power center forward and that Lu Junfeng was a waste in his hands. The most important thing is that Lu Junfeng has only signed a youth team contract at present. If there is a team that wants to forcibly poach him, Arsenal will not be able to stop him at all, and at most they will get some training fees. Thinking of this, the wrinkles on Wenger's forehead deepened. On that day, Lu Junfeng was only arranged to watch the game video, especially his handling of the ball and running positions in the game, to see if there was a better choice. The other thing is to practice stopping and splitting the ball. Boulder marveled at the speed of Lu Junfeng's progress. How did he know that in addition to relying on himself to improve his technology, Lu Junfeng also had the help of the system? Every little increase in Messi's template fit allows his technique to grow across the board. The average player can compare to him. On September 29, Arsenal hosted their opponents in the 6th round of the Premier League, Southampton Saints. Southampton were relegated to the Championship after the 04-05 season. It then underwent a series of vicissitudes and was relegated to League One after the 08-09 season. In 10 years, they signed for current head coach Adkins and then started the triple jump. The 10-11 season ended and he was promoted to the Championship. At the end of the 11-12 season, promotion to the Premier League. However, as the promotion horses this season, Southampton started poorly, losing 4 games in a row. In the 5th round, they beat the also in form Aston Villa to win their first win of the season. They are currently ahead of Arsenal on goal difference. Although Arsenal have a big win in the Carabao Cup, they have gone 5 games winless in the Premier League and have scored just 1 goal. If this game is not won, it is difficult to guarantee that the fans will not make any radical moves. A number of media have previously pointed out that if the league is not won in 6 rounds, Arsenal club will usher in a huge personnel change. The black-clad fans came to the home stadium again this time, which was very conspicuous. They put a lot of pressure on security at the scene. Stadium management has asked Wenger if he wants to stop the fans from entering the stadium. But Wenger feels that this will only intensify the conflict with the fans. Fans do have the right to raise their claims, as long as they have not committed any violations. In addition, Arsenal women's footballer Leah also followed her family to the Emirates Stadium. Their family was originally die-hard fans. The match was held locally in the afternoon, and it was 10 p.m. Chinese time, which was relatively friendly to the fans. Therefore, it attracted a large number of fans in Huaxia. The people in charge of the commentary are Zhang Jun and Zhang Lu. Referring to the last League Cup, the two praised Lu Junfeng's performance. Although he missed a penalty, Lu Junfeng opened the scoring and created many chances, and appeared very active on the field. He embodies the role of the pivot center well. However, the 2 games are very close apart, so this one has little chance of starting. An hour before the match, the starting lineups of both sides were announced. On Arsenal's side is goalkeeper Manwan. Defenders Jan Million, Mertzak, Vermaelen, Gibbs. Midfielders Diaby, Arteta, Cazorla, Ramsey. Striker Podolski, Gervinho. The formation looks 4-4-2, or 4,231, depending on Ramsey's position. This starting lineup is similar to when he played Manchester City, that is, Vermaelen returned from injury and continued to start. After all, he is the captain. It seems Wenger is very happy with the scene in the last round against Manchester City. Although playing at home to relegation zone teams, it is entirely necessary to strengthen the attack to break the dense defense. But Wenger seems to feel that it is more important to control the midfield. Make sure not to lose control before you go after the goal. On the bench were Lu Junfeng, Walcott, Arshavin, Coquelin, Koscielny, Santos and goalkeeper Martinez. At least until Giroud returned to the team, Lu Junfeng had become an important substitute. He can provide a pivot center role that other players can't. Southampton goalkeeper, Kelvin Davies. The back 4 are Fox, Heuveldt, Nozer Font, Klein. Single back Schneiderlin. Midfielders Lalana, Stephen Davis, Ward Prowse, Peng Jung. Single striker Lambert. It is basically a 4141 formation. The role of the four midfielders is crucial, both in the attack and in the defense. In the Arsenal dressing room before the game, the atmosphere was still very depressing. The players are under a lot of pressure because this game has to be won. However, the much criticized manager Arsene Wenger still seems calm and does not transmit his anxiety to the players. He told the players that they just had to play as normal. Whatever the outcome, the responsibility lies with him. This greatly reduces the pressure on the players. The competition officially began soon. The fans on Huaxia's side are discussing when Lu Junfeng can play. Now he's literally a substitute. If Arsenal still can't open the situation today, they will have to get on his heavy tank to crush the opponent. Episode 33. After a mutual trial at the beginning, Arsenal managed to manage the situation in midfield with ease. At present, this squad is mainly inferior to the backfield. Goalkeeper Manoni is a substitute goalkeeper who cannot make a big mistake and cannot expect more. Goalkeeper Damian Martinez is quite famous in the future and has become a member of the national team of Argentina. Right-back Jenkinson, known as Gen Million, was bought by Arsenal for £1 million. He has been an Arsenal fan since he was a child, and it is his dream and glory to be Arsenal's starter. So on the field, he is always conscientious. It's a pity that the technique is really average, and it really doesn't look like the starting right-back of a strong team. Arsenal's right-back Factory Flower Sonia is still lying in a hospital bed, and it has to lie down for a long time. Centre-back Mertzak is known as Grandpa because Ibrahimovic says his grandfather can turn faster than Mertzak. He has height and a good header, but slow turning is indeed a weakness that can be easily targeted by opponents, just like the future aircraft carrier turned Maguire. Potion Vermaelen, known as a guard with a knife, can head the ball and shoot from distance. However, he is easily injured and slightly rough on the defensive end. In the Premier League, his height and weight are also not dominant. Left-back Gibbs is decent, compared to his first two Arsenal left-backs, Ashley Cole and Krish. Midfielder, second master, Diaby integrates attack and defense when he is in good shape, and has the style of a top B2B midfielder. Unfortunately, he spends most of his time in a hospital bed, and sometimes he also commits too, which is more sticky. Arteta is an atypical Spanish midfielder. He has been playing in the Premier League for many years, he is not afraid of confrontation, balanced attack and defense, and can control and pass. It's just that compared with the top Spanish bud midfielder, it is still a little worse in all aspects, resulting in not entering the national team in his life. And now that he's older, you can't expect him to rush with the ball, it's good to do a good job of pivoting and bridging. Kafat, or third brother, Cazorla, is the real core of this current Arsenal team. He is technically outstanding and balances left and right feet. Despite his small stature, his low center of gravity and strength make him very good at fighting. Now the team's organization, tandem, including the last pass, mainly depends on him. He also has a strong free kick ability. Death Ramsey was once pinned on high hopes in the Football Manager game. As a Welsh player, his skills are incomparable to those of Latin players, but he runs very aggressively, has great coverage and has a strong sense of insertion, often scoring goals in the middle. There was a time when every time he scored a goal, there would be news of the death of a celebrity, so he was nicknamed the Grim Reaper by fans. Unfortunately, in February 10, against Stoke City, he was tackled off his calf by his opponent and recuperated for 9 months. This hit his growth path hard. The four-man midfielder can attack and defend well, and has good ball and ball control. It's just that this combination is more suitable for playing strong teams and letting them compete for control of the midfield. Hitting a weak point is a bit of a chicken-killing knife, because the lethality of the front line is insufficient. The current strikers are Podolski Wave Plane and Gervinho Hot Bird. In addition to a shot, the other abilities of the Bow aircraft can only be said to be mediocre in the Premier League and lack bright spots. Hot Birds are crazy and have outstanding abilities, but there are always operations that make people hemorrhage after people, which is really embarrassing. In this game, after the Arsenal players took control of the midfield, their two fullbacks cut in like crazy. Since the ability of the striker is insufficient, then rely on the numerical advantage to make up for it. Make your opponent defenseless. This style of play really made Southampton's goal dangerous. Their defenders were all tense. Finally, in the 10th minute, Bow Plane successfully countered in front, burst in with the ball, and then kicked straight to Gibbs, who inserted forward. Gibbs cut inside and crossed in front of the goal, and in a panic, the opposing central defender Højvold swung his own goal and accidentally blocked the ball in his own door. Goal 1:0. Arsenal lucky to take the lead. It seems that their momentum has indeed been reversed. Zhang Jun congratulated Arsenal on the goal while saying, Arsenal's 2 goals in the league at the moment, one is a volley from a centre-back and the other is an own goal, which is not a normal goal-scoring method, which is really interesting. Jean-Lu added. Hee, yes. Arsenal started well today. Southampton couldn't keep holding on after conceding the ball and had to attack. Let's see if Arsenal can take advantage of the opposing formation's front pressure to score a few more, so that Lu Junfeng can play early. The game continues. After that, Arsenal attacked less aggressively, and Southampton gradually pressed on. Arsenal had a couple of counter-attacking chances, but failed to handle them. The players up front still can't play the kind of subtle cooperation that Arsenal have at their peak. In the 28th minute, Højvold, who scored an own goal, twisted his ankle a little and could not hold on, and was replaced by substitute defender, Maya Yoshida, 189, from Toei. Episode 34. Maya Yoshida is also a Toei international, 189 tall and weighs nearly 90 kilograms, making him a relatively rare tall defender in Toei. In 08, when he was 20 years old, he participated in the Olympic Games with the Dongyin Olympic team. In 11 years, he entered the Dongyin national team as an absolute workhorse and won the Asian Cup with the team. At the London Olympics in 12, he became the captain of the Dongyin Olympic team as an overage player, leading the team to an excellent 4th place. It can be said that he is the main defender of the Dongyin national team in the next 10 years. In the future, he will even be the captain of the Dongyin national team. He joined Southampton this season and made his first Premier League appearance. Seeing him on the field, many Huasha fans posted unpleasantly. The Dongyin defenders are all on the field. Wenger, if you want to understand something, quickly let Lu Junfeng play. Let Lu Junfeng go quickly. I'm going to see how he crushes that Dongyin defender. Some people also poured cold water and said, forget it, people are the main force of the Dongyin national team. Lu Junfeng is afraid that he will be prevented from doubting life, or avoid it. The main force of the Huasha national team is not his opponent. You let the current Lu Junfeng deal with players of this level. That's not looking for abuse, don't abuse your confidence. Immediately someone refuted. Aren't Manchester City's main defenders better than Southampton's substitutes? Lu Junfeng is still not afraid. Little Dongyin defender, what's so arrogant? Huasha fans are indignant, but there is no way, unless there is an injury, there will be few substitutions in the first half. The game continues. In the 29th minute, Arsenal won a corner. The ball was pushed over by the opposing defender, while Diaby controlled the ball on the perimeter and was brought down by the opponent as he prepared to pass. Arsenal won a free kick from a very good position. Boplain and Cazorla stood in front of the ball, and both had the ability to strike directly from a free kick. Finally, the left foot of the wave plane kicked out the full moon machete, went around the human wall and went straight into the upper left corner of the goal. Goal. Another goal. Arsenal lead 2-0. They washed their downs. It was also Boplain's first goal in the Premier League. Zhang Jun sighed. Arsenal finally scored a goal in the Premier League by striker, a little later than in previous years. Jean-Lu said. An own goal, a direct free kick, it was an interesting game today. But congratulations to Arsenal, the home stadium looks very promising and they can also get their first Premier League win of the season. Arsenal, who lead by 2 goals, played more freely. Southampton, on the other hand, stepped up its offensive. Arsenal took the opportunity to fight back, but there was still not enough tacit understanding between the players, and there was a situation where the 2 forwards gave each other courtesy, resulting in missed opportunities. The bench players and fans on the bench couldn't help but hold their heads and sigh. Then Arsenal got a corner kick, Southampton goalkeeper Davies saved the ball, Kasala hoisted the ball in front of the goal, Mertzak scored from close range, and was saved by Davis who got up again. Wasting too many opportunities is often punished. It looked like Arsenal were in good shape, but in the 45th minute, the Southampton players went up front and crossed the ball to the back post. Arsenal goalkeeper Manoni made a mistake in his attack, and the ball he saved smashed into James' head and bounced to the feet of the opposing player Fox. Fox easily broke the goal without being watched. Towards the end of the first half, Southampton moved back with a goal and the score became 2-1. The goal left the Arsenal coaching staff on the sidelines speechless. The great situation suddenly became confusing again. The 2-1 score was awkward. If you shrink the line of defense, in case you let the other party enter another one, it will be difficult. Crucially, Arsenal's backline is not that solid. But if you continue to press up and fight, let the other party counterattack the sneak attack, it will waste the lead. Now it's up to Wenger what strategy he chooses. At halftime, Wenger instructed the team to continue to control the midfield and then press forward. Playing at home to the relegation zone team, then there is nothing to say, just attack, attack, attack again. However, the two fullbacks can only take turns inserting forward, and one must be kept at the back to prevent the opposing team's counterattack. Go into the second half. Southampton replaced Stephen Davies up front for Gaston Ramirez, bought from Bologna in Serie A. It seems that they still have some ideas for this game, and they have to go back with at least 1 point. The two sides fought fiercely in midfield. In the 49th minute, Southampton's Pang Cheong broke through on the right flank to create trouble. Gibbs fell to the ground and did not kick far. Ramirez shot hard with his left foot. Fortunately, the ball was saved by Manwan. In the 56th minute, Cazorla crossed straight to the hot bird, but was stuck by Maya Yoshida, and the goalkeeper attacked and confiscated. A minute later, Southampton got another chance. Ramirez shot straight from 25 yards on the left. The football was saved by Manwan, but not far away. Southampton striker Lambert arrived and slid a down-to-the-ground tackle that slid off the far post. Arsenal also had a chance, but the Hotbirds broke through on the left and slipped back. Ramsey followed up with a shot that went over the crossbar. There are opportunities for both sides to make Arsenal fans very anxious. The quick-acting heart-saving pills are almost ready. If this ball is not won again, it is unimaginable. Episode 35. In the 63rd minute, Cazorla split the ball from the left and the Hotbirds missed another chance. Wenger finally couldn't stand it and called Lu Junfeng, who was warming up, back and replaced him. But surprisingly, he replaced Diaby. In this way, Arsenal is going to attack with all their might. At this time, the field was again changed to the 433 formation. Ramsey and Arteta dragged back in midfield, responsible for defense and control. Cazorla was in charge of organizing scheduling. Lu Junfeng is at the center at the front, while on both sides are Wave Plane and Hot Bird. The person in charge of defending Lu Junfeng is Maya Yoshida. Hearing that Lu Junfeng is from Huaxia, Yoshida Ma also showed a little disdain. Huaxia players, then there are no people who can play. Huaxia's explanation was very exciting. Zhang Jun said loudly. This is the Asian Derby. I didn't expect such a scene to appear in the Premier League. Let's see what our Huaxia center can do against Dongying's defenders. Zhang Lu said. Hehe, the two look about the same height, but Lu Junfeng is much stronger than Yoshida, and he should be able to occupy a certain advantage. Online fans were equally rejoicing. Who is strong and who is weak, no matter how much netizens analyze, it is useless, just look at reality and touch. The sports circle is not an entertainment industry, and you can tell the difference between winning and losing on the field. As soon as Lu Junfeng came on the field, he wanted to use his physical advantage to crush his opponent. So when the Arsenal midfielder controlled the ball, he immediately pulled it to the right wing. Brother Totsi, pass it quickly. I pulled the edge. Pretty. I don't stop the ball, so you can't defend it. Seeing Arteta pass over, Lu Junfeng lightly leaked, let the ball leak through, shook Yoshida, and then he accelerated sharply and rushed forward. I'll make you unable to catch up with another explosion. Yoshida couldn't pull Lu Junfeng in the back. He didn't expect Lu Junfeng's big physique to run so fast. I crossed to the wave plane, heck, didn't pass it. The ball was cleared by the Southampton defender. Wenger stood on the sidelines and instructed Lu Junfeng, less pulling sides, more to the middle. Lu Junfeng was helpless and could only go to the middle road. He himself prefers to use the speed advantage on the wing to force breakthroughs, but the middle high point is indeed missing on the field, so pulling crosses is not effective. He has no internal ability for the time being. When Giroud returns from injury, he will advise Wenger to play the two-tower tactic. He will pull the side. Giroud is responsible for the top in the middle. At this point, the Arsenal midfielder stole the ball again. Lu Junfeng squeezed Yoshida behind him in the middle. Yoshida found that he couldn't grab Lu Junfeng by grabbing the position, and he was a little anxious, and he dragged the strap. Hey! You boy, don't pick me up. Umpire. He pulled my clothes. The two had some arguments, and the referee quickly stopped the match and warned Yoshida. Lu Junfeng was very proud, and whispered after waiting for the referee to leave. Your name is Xiao Akita, don't pretend with me, I'll clean you up again. Lao Tzu's name is Yoshida. Not Akita. Oh, Yoshida, I seem to have heard, your family sells beef rice. That's Yoshinoya. When the two were arguing there, the Arsenal midfielder had already crossed the ball low into the middle. Good ball. Look how I hit little Yoshida on my back. Lu Junfeng put Yoshida behind him, received a pass from his teammates, and stopped to protect it. Southampton's right back saw that Yoshida couldn't carry Lu Junfeng, and quickly came over to pinch. Lu Junfeng did not stubbornly and quickly distributed the ball to the wave plane on the left wing. The wave plane kicked straight to Gibbs, who inserted in front of the left side. Gibbs crosses underneath. Lu Junfeng has already broken free from the opponent, and when he comes to the penalty area, he jumps high to score with a header. Look at me, Tarzan. Your sister. How is this young goalkeeper so strong? The ball was saved by the Southampton goalkeeper again. Lu Junfeng clapped his hands and sent Gibbs the first like of the day. Arsenal win a corner. The ball was successfully won by the opposing defender in advance and flew outside the box. Midfielder Cazorla controlled the ball and distributed it to Ortega on the right. Lu Junfeng resisted Yoshida in the middle and shouted, "Brother Totsi, pass it quickly. See how I managed Koyashida." The Southampton defender hurriedly went over to pinch Lu Junfeng, but he didn't expect Ortega to suddenly pick a pass over the top. The hot bird jerks forward from the right. The attention of the Southampton players was pulled by Lu Junfeng, and they relaxed their supervision of the hot birds for a while. The hot birds received a pass from Ortega and took 2 steps to face the goalkeeper immediately. Lu Junfeng quickly ran to the middle and shouted in his mouth, "Hot bird. Fast cross. I'm in the middle." Unexpectedly, the hot bird directly got up and hit the near corner. The goalkeeper couldn't save it. Goal. Arsenal scored another goal. 3-1 lead. The whole Arsenal fans were boiling. Their cheers resounded in the sky. The situation is very good. It was also the first Premier League goal of the season for the Hotbirds. Lu Junfeng ran to the corner flag excitedly, wanting to celebrate with his teammates. This is his first home game in the Premier League. Although he was not directly involved in this goal, he pinned down the opponent in the middle, attracted the attention of the opposing defenders, and created good conditions for scoring the goal. However, when he ran to the corner flag, he found that no teammates followed. "Look back, your sisters." They turned out to be at the corner flag at the other end. It's a bit embarrassing. Lao Tzu actually ran in the wrong direction. Episode 36. But since you ran here, show your excitement. So Lu Junfeng raised his head to the sky and beat his chest and roared. Nearby Arsenal fans gave face and shouted loudly, "Lu! Lu! Lu!" Since the youngster was promoted to the first team, Arsenal have had good results in several games, regardless of the process. It seems that this young man is a blessing general. After acting for a while, Lu Junfeng ran to the other end and bumped his chest with his teammates to celebrate. By the way, he told his teammates that he had a speed advantage when he saw that Koyashida was defending him and passing directly behind him. Seeing their first league win, the Arsenal players were excited on the pitch. In the studio, Zhang Jun and Zhang Lu are analyzing the role Lu Junfeng provided for this goal from all aspects. It seems that in a one-on-one situation, he is completely suppressed by Yoshida, which forces the Southampton defense to fill Yoshida at any time, which allows Arteta and the Hotbirds at the other end to find opportunities. Of course, there are still people on the internet who are tough-mouthed, thinking that this ball has little to do with Lu Junfeng, purely Arteta's inspiration, plus the Hotbird finally seized the opportunity. The game soon began again. The 2-goal lead put Arsenal's players and fans alike at ease. The Southampton players were in a hurry. They pushed forward too hastily and again made mistakes. Lu Junfeng in the front court quickly shouted, "I'm on the left. Give fast, give fast. Hey, you pass this ball, you give it bigger. I said that Xiao Yoshida can't hang up the second block, can he catch up with me?" The Southampton player spoiled the pass. However, Arsenal's backfield players quickly broke the ball again. They routed 3 players on the left with a small match, giving the forward wave plane. "Wave planes, look at me, look at me. This time I'm not fainting, I'm inverting the triangle. Give it. Give it. Hey, what hot bird are you preaching? I'm inverting the triangle. If you don't give it, you will have it." The cross of the bow plane was destroyed again. Behind Southampton pressed hard, which gave Arsenal plenty of counter-attacking opportunities. The one who benefited the most was Lu Junfeng, who was at the front. "I'm pulling the edge, little Yoshida defends me, give it quickly. Pretty. I stopped. Hey, it's okay, the ball is still under my control." However, the other party soon caught the 2 of them. "Your sister, I can't run now, what should I do?" "I got it." The ball bounced off the touchline, Arsenal's out-of-bounds ball. Lu Junfeng took the opportunity to remind his teammates again. "As long as you see Koyashida defending me, you will pass forward hard, and it is best not to stop the ball from me." After a while, Arsenal got another chance to fight back. It's Xiao Yoshida to defend me again, give it quickly. Pretty. I half-turn a rhinoceros and add a perfect burst. Oops, kick. Ramsey, it's Xiao Yoshida to defend me again, give it quickly, give it. Pretty. Watch me a dashing stop, plus 2 small bursts. Then I pedal 2 bikes. Hey, if you don't come and grab it, then I'll hit the door. Seeing that Yoshida always kept his distance from him to prevent him from stepping over, Lu Junfeng simply came to a left-footed burst. However, this powerful shot was saved by the goalkeeper. Your sisters. This Davis god is under everything, right? Can this all be pounced? I'm pulling the edge, give it to me, I'm going to hit little Yoshida on the back. Strike. I'm a stop, it's good to stop. I hit my back with one. Hey, I'm a score. I didn't expect it, I was a feint. Pretty. Ramsey. Kill it. On the pitch, Ramsey took a stop from the left side, swung past a defender, then dribbled the ball straight into the box, and finally a very hidden shot from the outside of his right foot. The goalkeeper was tricked and the ball rolled into the far corner of the goal. But the ball hit the goalpost. Fortunately, the hot bird has already arrived, and with a gentle push, the rebounding ball is pushed into the door. Goal. Arsenal scored another goal. Hot bird scored twice. 4:1. The die is cast. The Arsenal fans at the scene were completely relaxed. They began a collective chorus. It is the famous song Hot Stuff that is sung. The song includes the names of many players in the Arsenal squad at the time, 98 to 99. Start the new season and nothing can stop us. Right is everything. Let's step into the wonderland of Bergkamp. Parole is the light that shines in our hearts. Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal. Arsenal. Arsenal fans have been suppressed for too long this season. A rare big win makes them want to vent everything. Anyway, the game has come to the 75th minute. Southampton want to score 3 goals in a row. It is more difficult than climbing to the sky. In the live broadcast room on Huaxia's side, Zhang Jun analyzed. Although Arsenal's 4 goals, Lu Junfeng did not directly score or assist, but he still played a big role. For example, in the ball just now, the starting point of the goal is that he has the ball with his back in the middle, attracts the defense and divides the side, creating opportunities for teammates. Jean Lu added. Yes. In fact, the situation at Arsenal was not good at the beginning of the second half. Once you get one back, it's hard to kick. But after Lu Junfeng came on the field, he could hold the ball in the front court, which gave his teammates the opportunity to attack forward. It can be seen that since then, Arsenal's offensive momentum has been much stronger than at the beginning. Episode 37. There was a substitution at this time, and Arsenal replaced the goal-scoring heroes Hotbird and Beau Plain with Little Tiger Walcott and Czar Arshavin. The fans all gave a standing ovation as the 2 men left the pitch to pay tribute to the leader of the league's first victory. Southampton also replaced the lackluster Lambert with a substitute striker. On the pitch, Southampton's players were visibly demoralized. Soon they made another mistake. Lu Junfeng shouted in the front court. Brothers, now little Yoshida defends me. Believe me, let's watch the long pass. Gibbs took the ball at the back and did give a long pass to Lu Junfeng. The main reason is that Southampton is too pressed, and there are not many defenders in the backfield now, which completely gives Lu Junfeng space to sprint. Here it comes, Gibbs, good ball. I stopped the ball and stopped it well. Koyashida, welcome to the confrontation road. I'm a blaster. I'll take another blast. How do you retire? How can you live with you if you don't rob me? I got it. I rub. In. On the field, Yoshida did not dare to grab it, and was taken all the way to the penalty area by Lu Junfeng, and he struck a left-footed explosion. Bang! The football goes straight to the bottom left corner of the goal. The goalkeeper couldn't save it. Goal. Arsenal scored another goal. 5:1. Lu Junfeng scored his first goal in the Premier League. Haha. Chop melons and cut vegetables, brothers. Fight against the road you do not confront, you retreat. When I scored, you played navigation with me here? A word of advice to you, just retreat and not grab, sooner or later it will be cold. Gag roar. Brothers. True and false, false and true. It seems to be in Mongolia, but in fact, it is also in Mongolia. But Mondo, he went in. This is called 100 steel. Just this single ride to break through, straight to the yellow dragon, oh no, straight to the goal in the heart of Xiao Yoshida. This is not allowed to score the top 10 goals of the season or something? Excitedly, Lu Junfeng rushed to the corner flag. He wanted to have a super big meal. But I remembered that the last time I didn't succeed in kneeling, I had to slide a little, and then continue to kneel on one knee to draw a bow and shoot arrows. We'll hold the bow like a full moon, look northwest, shoot the sky wolf. All his teammates came up to congratulate him. Wenger on the sidelines also stretched his brows and smiled. He seems to see new hope. The fans at the scene cheered even more. Especially those fans in black. They have forgotten what they are here for, and now they don't want to care about anything. The celebration is over. The first win in the league, or a big win, what else can be dissatisfied? In the studio over there in Huaxia, Zhang Jun shouted excitedly. Score. Scored. Lu Junfeng scored his first goal in the Premier League. Let's congratulate Lu Junfeng. Yoshida one-on-one can't prevent him at all. He is stronger than the strength of the Dongying national team. Zhang Lu added. Hehe, Lu Junfeng's goal luck is really strong. No matter how many chances he wasted, no matter how good he performed on the field, he has scored 3 goals. The Champions League, the League Cup, the Premier League, no opponent can prevent him. That's real strength. Online fans are even more lively. What about those who say Lu Junfeng can't do it? Come out and walk 2 steps. The main central defender of the Dongying national team was swallowed alive by him. I see that his strength is already above the Huaxia national team. The national team should recruit him immediately. With Lu Junfeng, the Asian arena is invincible. His style of play is so suitable for the national team. Don't worry about anything, just kick the ball forward. Leave it to him. Don't say it, the gang of the Huaxia national team is simply not comparable to Brother Feng, and they are not worthy of lifting shoes for him. Still called Brother Feng? This is Lu Huang. Young people don't know that there is Lu Huang, and mistakenly took Mero as the king of ball. You're Lu Huang, infinitely rampant. With this one goal, the fans of Huaxia blew Lu Junfeng into the sky. However, some people said sourly. Don't just watch him score, see how many chances he wasted before. It's garbage time, what's the use of this icing on the cake, have the ability to score one at a critical moment. He also bullied Yoshida, who played in the Premier League for the first time. The two sides are once again engaged in a verbal discussion. However, those who support Lu Junfeng have a clear advantage. Huaxia hasn't produced a star who can score in the Premier League for a long time, who doesn't support him. Although the opponent is a team in the relegation zone of the Premier League, it is still a Premier League team. Is that something that Asian teams can compare? The game continues. Over there, Yoshida has been broken down. Southampton can only replace another central defender Lu Junfeng. Yoshida is responsible for assisting and making up for it. Lu Junfeng became more and more courageous in the war, and even shouted defiantly. Little Yoshida. You. At. Which. The Southampton players understand the tide is over. They just want to score another goal and save face. However, this time the pass was cut off by Arsenal centre-back Vermaelen. The offensive blood in Vermaelen's body, who controlled the ball, was already boiling. Originally, he was a guard with a knife. Now that you're so much ahead, it doesn't matter if you get involved in the attack up front, right? So he drove the ball all the way. Southampton's defensive formation was disrupted by his unexpected forward insertion. And over there, Lu Junfeng was still running and shouting for his teammates to pass the ball. Vermaelen took the ball up front and handed it to Cazorla. Episode 38. Lu Junfeng has already cut forward on the right wing, attracting the attention of the opposing central defender. Unexpectedly, Cazorla made a light swipe and passed the ball to Vermaelen, who was still inserting forward. Vermaelen gets a one-knife chance. He shot hard. The ball is saved by the opposing goalkeeper. But this ball didn't go far. Little Tiger Walcott, who came off the bench, followed up in time and shot a supplementary shot. Goal. Arsenal scored another goal. It's 6-1. A hearty victory. Walcott scored his first Premier League goal of the season. However, Walcott refused to celebrate, only clapping his teammates. He himself debuted from Southampton and cannot forget his roots. And Chamberlain in the team also debuted at Southampton. The game after that was completely devoid of suspense. The Southampton players were scrappy and the Arsenal players were not the killers. In the end, Arsenal beat Southampton 6-1 at home to win the first Premier League victory of the new season. They relied on this battle to directly brush the goal difference into a positive. Some fans feel that Arsenal should not be staring at a team to death. Even if you score 10 goals, what's the point? Aren't there only 3 points for points? It is better to distribute these goals to other games. but football is not simple arithmetic. It's not that you can skip the goal and save it for the next game. Being able to win a big win also helps a lot in the morale of the team. Add to that the Carabao Cup 6-1, and Arsenal scored 12 goals in 2 consecutive games at home. It looks like they've emerged from their early season slump and are about to get on track. In Arsenal's dressing room after the game, the first team players were finally able to celebrate. They dance and sing like crazy. Especially the black players. Their favorite things are singing, dancing, rapping, basketball, oh no, football. Although they shouldn't be too excited to win the relegation zone team at home, they have been waiting too long for this first league win. This big win boosted the morale of the team. They have every chance to take advantage of this momentum to grab points like crazy. Arsenal fans in London have forgotten the suffocation of the first 5 rounds. Their joyful singing was all around the stadium. After a few years of slumps, they are getting more and more satisfied. As long as this one wins, everything else can be left alone. The fans on the Chinese side are even more excited than the local Arsenal fans in England. Because Lu Junfeng is performing better and better. And anyway, it was after Lu Junfeng entered the first team that Arsenal's goal dribbling began to arrive. From the perspective of luck alone, Lu Junfeng will be very smooth at Arsenal. This may be the strong luck of the strong. Post-match ratings came out quickly. Arsenal's highest score was scored by the Hotbirds with a double goal of 9.0 points, and he was also the best player of the game. The 2 midfielders were excellent, with Arteta 8.7 and Cazorla 8.1. The Wave plane scored directly from a free kick with 8.6 points. Lu Junfeng, who turned the tide and scored a goal after coming on, also scored a high score of 8.1. Yoshida, who is in the position with him, only has a pitiful 5.9 points. In the first leg of the Asian Derby, it can be said that Lu Junfeng has won. In other matches, United beat Wigan Athletic 4-0 at home to continue leading the table with 15 points. Manchester United were extremely strong at the start of the season to reclaim the title stolen by Manchester City, and the competition began almost from the first round of the league. Manchester United players this season are all holding their breath. Such a team is very scary. Manchester City were held to a 1-1 draw away by Stoke City. The defending champions currently have 2 wins and 4 draws, with just 10 points. Chelsea were held to a 0-0 draw away by Queen's Park Rangers, QPR, with 13 points from 6 wins, 4 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat, sitting second in the league. Liverpool were also held to a 1-1 draw by Sunderland away from home and are currently only 8 points. Liverpool have also had a hard time this season. Once jokingly called bitter or not bitter, look at the Reds. Liverpool, not bad, look at the London Arsenal. Tottenham beat Reading 3-1 away and accumulated 10 points. Newcastle United drew 2-2 away at Everton for a total of 11 points. Everton have 12 points and are unbeaten so far. Arsenal have won 1 win, drawn 3 and lost 2 in 6 games, accumulated 6 points, and finally moved up to 15th place, temporarily out of the relegation zone. Their next Premier League game is away to a fierce West Ham United. But before that, there is still a Champions League group stage to play, against Olympiacos. Beginning the next day, the Huaxia media praised Lu Junfeng in all aspects. Hua Xiaokai scored his first Premier League goal. The new generation of Gun King has officially set sail. On the field can turn the situation around. Lu Junfeng's brave performance stunned Wenger. One-on-one finished Dongying International Football, the savior of the Chinese men's football team has arrived. Premier League defenders are difficult to compete with Lu Junfeng. The sky is his limit. Why is the strongest always put on the bench? Wenger's train of thought is incomprehensible. All fans on the internet quarreled for Lu Junfeng. Football practitioners are happy. It seems that Huaxia football is about to recover again, and their traffic has exceeded that of any other sport. If it goes on like this, Lu Junfeng's influence is completely comparable to Yao Ming in the basketball industry. And the major media have already sent staff to London to look for opportunities to interview Lu Junfeng. This young man will soon become the top of the Chinese football world. Episode 39. Arsenal's first-team players who won a big win were given a day off. This time, Lu Junfeng did not choose to go to the base to practice, but stayed in the dormitory to rest. The confrontation in the Premier League is still very fierce, and the coaching staff has reminded him that with his weight, long hours of high-intensity exercise, knees and ankles are prone to injury, so he has to take it easy. Everything needs to be gradual. Anyway, he can already contribute a lot to the team now. The Arsenal coaching staff is really scared by the injuries of the players. Yesterday's match increased Lu Junfeng's Messi template fit by 1% to 51%. Even if he doesn't train, he can become a top star with the template fit he gets. Just as Lu Junfeng was surfing the internet in the dormitory and looking for various study materials, he received a call from his agent Lin Bo. Limber was an old friend of his dad's and lived in England early on. Before the operation, Lu Junfeng came to England to train by him. Because Lin Bo was a lawyer and was more familiar with the situation in England, he simply made him Lu Junfeng's agent. After the two exchanged a few pleasantries, Lin Bo said, "Xiao Feng, I've not been in good health recently, I'm recuperating, and I may not be able to handle the matter of your contract. In this way, your sister has already obtained the agent certificate, you see that it will be handed over to her, okay?" Lin Shurer, mentioned by Lin Bo, is his only daughter, 6 years older than Lu Junfeng. Before being reborn, because the Lin Bo family lived in England for a long time, their contacts with their Lu family were not close, so Lu Junfeng was not impressed by Lin Shurer. "I only know that she is a big beauty, but the marriage does not seem to be so happy." After being reborn, because Lu Junfeng lived in England, the Lin Bo family was his family's closest friends. However, Lin Shire has been studying in other cities and does not see her several times a year. Coupled with the difference between men and women and the age difference, the two did not communicate much before. As for letting her be an agent, Lu Junfeng had no opinion. Players with strength don't need agents to do anything. Moreover, he himself is not short of money, as long as the contract is passable. Over there, Lin Suer was very engaged. As soon as the agent's job was confirmed here, she personally drove her red BMW to the downstairs of Lu Junfeng's dormitory in the afternoon. She wants to talk to her first employer about contractual intent. The two chatted in Lu Junfeng's dormitory. Seeing that the thin little boy when he first met, in Englander, had grown into a big man in Englander, Lin Shire was very emotional. This London water and soil is different, can raise people like this. And she really didn't expect that this child had already become a star, and I heard that he was praised as a savior in Huaxia. Lu Junfeng was also very emotional. Lin Shurer is even more beautiful than he remembered. Now she is 25 years old, which is the peak of a woman's appearance. Fresh out of her master's degree, she probably wanted to look more mature and reliable, her hair was slightly curly and she wore a little lipstick. With her fair skin and smart eyes, it is extremely alluring. Wearing a black suit skirt, black stockings, and small leather shoes. It's hard to think about it. It's a pity that the two are 6 years apart. Although Lu Junfeng didn't mind, the parents of both sides, plus worldly eyes, made him only think about it. When the contract was raised, Lu Junfeng made a request to Lin Shire. The weekly salary is not less than 20,000, and a short contract must be signed, which cannot exceed 3 years. He believes that with his own growth rate, the next contract will reach the superstar level. Lin Shurer asked at this time, "If there are other clubs offering contracts, do you want to accept them? The people at Manchester United and Chelsea have approached my dad before and they should be offering more lucrative contracts than Arsenal." Lu Junfeng thought about it for a while and said, "You can use that as a bargaining chip, but I still want to stay at Arsenal, at least I don't want to leave for 2 years." He is not sure if the fit of Messi's template will increase if he goes to other clubs, so it is better to stay at Arsenal and brush up the fit. What's more, Arsenal's platform, except for a little less championship, is not bad in other aspects. Lin Shurer was a little surprised by Lu Junfeng's steadiness. It doesn't feel like the state of a 19-year-old. People who can become stars are indeed much more mature in mind than ordinary people. He also has to work hard to be able to afford his agent. After chatting with Lu Junfeng, Lin Shire threw herself into her work, and she wanted to sign a formal contract for Lu Junfeng as soon as possible that matched his strength. Arsenal's side of her docking with her is CEO Gazidis, a big bald head. Although Gazidis has been criticized by fans since he joined Arsenal, because Arsenal's strength is deteriorating. But this man is a bounty in the eyes of the bosses, because Arsenal has increased its market value a lot in his hands. After that, he was invited by AC Milan. At present, Lu Junfeng's contract has become the focus of the club. Seeing that this young man is about to play out of fame, he can't be poached by other clubs. Wenger has suggested that it is better to pay a big price than to keep him. It just so happened that Lu Junfeng's agent had no experience, plus the requirements were not high, so the two sides hit it off. Episode 40. In the end, Lu Junfeng signed a formal contract with Arsenal. The salary is £30,000 a week, rising by 10% a year, and signed for 3 years. £8,000 for a goal and £6,000 for an assist. Then there's the prize money for reaching the Champions League next season, the prize money for winning the league, the bonus for winning various cups, and so on. This contract amount is actually a long way from the maximum ceiling given by Wenger. Gazidis secretly felt a little embarrassed and added another £100,000 to Lu Junfeng's signing fee. For young people, the contract is already quite generous. However, Lu Junfeng is not interested in money, but the status of the team. The higher the salary, the higher your status in the team, because it means that the team values you. The kind of players who are bought at a low price and have low wages are the easiest to give up. The club is not distressed to give up on you, there is not much to lose. But transfer fees or players with very high salaries, you don't play well and the team will develop you patiently because the team pays a big price and they want to be rewarded. If you give up early and don't give you a chance to play, even if you want to sell, you can't sell it at a high price. In a society where money is paramount, everything is so realistic. After signing the contract, a phone call came from home. His parents were mainly worried that Lu Junfeng would be corrupted by the drunk in Greater London if he had money on hand. Although this salary is not very high in the Premier League, it has an annual salary of millions of pounds, which definitely belongs to the little rich. At that time, those Ying Yanyan's absolute initiative to give them a hug. At the same time, they were also afraid that Lu Junfeng would be contaminated with some bad customs. After all, the temptations of rich men are manifold. In this regard, Lu Junfeng reassured his parents that he was definitely not in the same way as gambling and drugs. The news that Lu Junfeng officially signed the contract was quickly spread. Huaxia fans are completely relieved at this time. It seems that Lu Junfeng will get a good workout at Arsenal. Although his style of play is not so compatible with Arsenal, Arsenal's ability to develop young people is unquestionable. It's a bit of a pity for other clubs. But whether Lu Junfeng can kick it out is difficult to say. Not to mention that the contract period is not long. If he really becomes a top center, then it is okay to wait 2 or 3 years and then take a lot of money to smash it. Always thinking of collecting a demon at a low price is not the style of a big club. The signing did not involve Lu Junfeng too much energy. He is still fully engaged in training these days. Although Lin Shire suggested that he rent a house outside, buy a car again, and enjoy the life of being a football star, he was rejected by Lu Junfeng. Even if the place to live is very remote, but close to the training base, it is the most suitable. Now he doesn't need to live in any big villa. He is alone, the entertainment facility is a laptop, what is the use of a house so big? Anyway, the training base has a canteen, a variety of training facilities, swimming pools, massage rooms, and other leisure and entertainment places, and even a barber shop. So for him who is single, there is no better option than living in the base dormitory. Arsenal took advantage of the fact that the last few games were at home to practice Lu Junfeng's central forward tactics. In this regard, Lu Junfeng is indeed lucky, because after Giroud's injury, the team has a positive central striker, and Shamik has long been waived by Wenger. Of course, Arsenal's style of play sometimes does not need a center, everything depends on the opponent and the state of the game. On October 4th, when the Chinese people enjoyed the National Day holiday, Arsenal welcomed the second opponent in the group stage of the Champions Cup, Olympiacos. Olympiacos is a traditional powerhouse from Rare Rack, and has won the first division 39 times in its history, so it is eligible to play in the Champions League all year round. However, their results in the Champions League are mediocre, and the best result is only to reach the quarter-finals. In the first round, Olympiacos lost 3-1 at home to Schalke 04 of the Bundesliga, and is currently fourth in the group. Facing the brave Arsenal, they play away from home, and 1 point is a success. Arsenal were once again plagued by injuries before the game, with centre-back Mertzak and midfielder Diaby both missing out of the squad due to injuries. Goalkeeper Szczesny and centre-forward Olivier Giroud remain recovering from injury. Needless to say, right-back Sarnia and midfielders Rosicky and Wilshere, who have been lying in hospital beds all year round, do not expect them to return for the time being. At the press conference before the game, many Chinese reporters appeared, asking about Lu Junfeng's situation. This is normal. When Yao Ming and Yi Jianlian played in the NBA, those Chinese reporters surrounded them every day, interviewing coaches and teammates and asking questions about them every day, which annoyed teammates. The main thing is that it is not easy for Huaxia to play in a top team. But the coaching staff and teammates don't take special care because you're a Chinese player. Everything on the pitch still depends on strength. Fortunately, Wenger is still very experienced in this regard, saying that Lu Junfeng is in the team's long-term plan. They will not promote the seedlings, but will give the player the appropriate playing time according to his own situation. After all, Lu Junfeng looks tall and strong, but he is actually only 19 years old and must be given some protection.